Hi, welcome to RevFest 2025 and our behind the scenes look at RevFest. We're on our final day here and we've had an amazing year so far. We're in our 18th year of RevFest here at Bray State High School. My name is Robert Adamson. I'm the head of department for the arts here at the school, and I'd love to showcase some of the talents of our students that have gone on behind the scenes for RevFest 2025. So behind me, we've got our phenomenal tech crew, and our tech crew this year has been tasked with everything to do with RevFest in terms of the cameras, the lighting, bits of the sound as well, as kind of everything that you've seen go on the stage for RevFest. So today I'd love to take you on a little bit of a behind the scenes to see what's changed over this year, because we have had a few little changes with some of the tech, just to give you those feels of what we've done different this year to make and bring you RevFest for this year. So I'm going to tell the kids to head over to their positions and we'll go and visit them and what they're going to be doing. And then we'll kind of go through some of the stuff. But I do want to just start on the stage quickly as the kids get to their positions. Pretty normal kind of RevFest setup that we've got this year. We've elevated a few things, changed the sizes of some of the platforms and things like that. But our probably biggest difference on stage this year is that we do have some R3s, which are our moving lights. We've got another 4 of them that we've just introduced onto the stage. They've just arrived for these last couple of days of RevFest, which is really exciting. So fairly silent stage still. Drum kit's there, the loudest thing that's on stage, but everything else is quite normal. We have changed over some of our cameras particularly, in particular our kind of drum shot, point of view drum shot camera. We're using one of our old XA 25s, or this one's the 35 in particular for that shot. So pedal boards at the front for this year, trying to get rid of all our fallback wedges wherever possible, but that's what we've got going on stage, which is pretty cool. I want to take you out to one of our first changes that we've got this year, and in particular, this is a jib. So if you come down here, we are rocking a brand new jib, and we've upgraded one of our jibs anyway, so that over here at the camera end, we can house our XF605 cameras that are there. So on this camera, we've had Oliver on this jib learning how to do this particular camera. What we've got with this particular jib now is a motorized head on the top there. So if we just have a look at the motorized head, we have a joystick control and we can move that camera that's at the top of the jib as much as we kind of need to get some awesome crowd shots and some lovely zoom in and zoom out. So as you can see, the camera is beautifully weighted as well, so we can get the heights. And yeah, it's just a really kind of nice experience. Big, heavy kind of jib now, so we're getting up there in size. But this brand of jib is one of these Pro Aim versions that we kind of imported in. So we're pretty happy with it. There's a bit to learn still with some of the shots that we're going to get from it. Some new kind of things to, it's a lot of weight here to lift up and down. So we've got our volleyball extraordinaire Oliver on there. So he's got his weights training getting this so he can raise and lower it. So yeah, Pro Aim jib, motorized head, finally getting our XF605s up onto jibs, which is really exciting. So well done, Oliver, to all the work on there. We're going to come over into this side where we've got Kaylee, who's been doing a little bit of directing for video stuff, but also part-timing on our right jib. And this is our old school setup, right? This is our Canon XA25. Eventually, once we see how the other jib kind of goes, we may purchase another one. But we've got the standard setup here for jibs that we've got our Blackmagic video assist monitors here, camera there. Kaylee's on comms, has a tally light usually as well when they're not on charge. So Kaylee's done a great job as our vice captain of tech crew this year as well, and then filling in and creating our rosters for all of our tech crew events coming up in this term, with the biggest one being RevFest this week. So well done, Kaylee. We're going to kind of briefly go through all of our other positions, so come up in the hall. So people always ask me why we put carpet down here in the hall. The hall is a very lively acoustic space, and we do have some of these old carpet runs. And we do try and put them there to get rid of some of the reflected and refracted sound, just to help with sound and make it better. So over here, we've had Savannah on our left camera. We've also had Cooper on one of our cameras as well, on left camera, just as people have different commitments throughout the week. But this is our standard kind of static-y camera. And we've had some great shots from the left camera this year, doing some slow zooms in, zooms out, things like that. But really standard now, rocking our XF605 cameras, natively giving out our 1080p signal, which is really great. And yeah, just doing kind of manual iris control, just trying to stop down the shots as the lighting changes. So well done to Savannah and to Cooper, who've been on our left camera. So we'll come up to kind of Tech Central. We'll go see Cooper, speaking of which, Cooper's over on our wider camera. So this camera here is just trying to provide some of our wide shots of the stage. And when we do have our big ensembles performing, it's a great way of getting some of the shots. So as we come up here, Cooper's been one of our newer members in grade 8, right, Cooper? So it's great to have our younger members joining us up in the tech crew. So he's on our wide camera, but has also done a few other little odds jobs moving in for people doing some playback as well. So well done, Cooper. Jack is here ready to roll. This is the big change for this year. Long gone is our clarity system, our LSC clarity system. We are now fully on our Grand MA3 on PC command win kind of thing going on here. So it has been a huge change for us, and Jack, and in particular Charlie, our tech crew captain, who's not with us for today's video, but they have done an exceptional job kind of learning this system. We used this for our musical this year in June, and so there's been a huge learning curve using this software, and the team, Jack, Charlie in particular, Patrick, who's behind the scenes at the moment, we'll feature him soon, but they've done a huge job in learning how to use this system to kind of get some of the cool new lighting states that we've got. So that complemented with new R3s that are on the stage, R3s that are mounted, means that our R3 collection is up to 8 now, which I'm so incredibly excited about. And we've got the 8 R3s, 4 Intimidators from Chevet, as well as all of the other kind of cool lights like our Pix bars and a few other things that are there. So well done to our lighting team, done a fantastic job. As we come down here, we have Elliot, and as I said, Cooper's done this a few times, but in particular, kind of we've used our QLab as well for always our playback tracks for each of the days. Rocking into our QL5, onto our Dante core. So no huge changes there, but our sound system rocking nice and loud for RevFest this year. We've really worked on our low end for the live sound. So if we just have a look over into the audience, we've put in some QSC speakers, in particular some subwoofers, just to kind of fill out the bottom end for the back area of the hall, because our subs are mounted at the front of the stage. So this just helps because we have brought the student space for RevFest back even further, so we can have more capacity for students at RevFest in 2025. Because for the last 3 or 4 years, it's been crushed. Like, we're getting students in here that's so popular. We've actually had a little bit of space to play with this year, which is really, really good. So last year we introduced this particular camera, and this is, as you can see, our cable cam. So this is from a company that it's kind of called Gimbal, and it is a cable system camera. So last time we did this behind the scenes, it had stopped working, but we've made sure it's fully charged for this video right now. So as you can see, we've got a DJI wireless transmission kit on this as well. I think it's called the SDR, and it's coming into an iPad that connects to a Wi-Fi access point that it broadcasts. So Krish can get a fairly good image of it. He's got his grid lines here, maintaining rule of thirds, and he's got a controller, a pro level controller here that gives him a lot of control. He can zoom in and out, he can pan, he can move along the track, he can tilt. He can actually even lock off positions, so I'll get Chris to give us kind of a standard RevFesty kind of shot now, so we can have a look at what he's doing. So he's going to kind of move the camera back around to the stage, and we use this to kind of get those kind of amazing crowd shots overhead. So he can kind of move. If we just, zoom in there. We've got some of these shots where he's moving it along the cable, so we get this amazing parallax effect. So let's move it along the cable now, Krish. And he's kind of centering it on the stage. And then if he moves back along to the right-hand side, he gets these amazing cool shots, framing up artists, but also being able to see the backs of heads. So we're really excited about the cable cam. It's been rock solid, and we've had a few things. We might actually, can you try and zoom in up on the cable cam itself? So you can see that it's got a 2-track system. So one's a top, it's like a safety cable that's at the top. and the bottom one is what it actually tracks along. And then we've got a DJI RS2 Pro that sits as the gimbal that's in underslung mode. And the camera that we use is a Sony a6600. And as I said, it's got a DJI wireless SDR transmission kit on it so that we can get it. Now, it's a little bit laggy and sometimes we do have some interference, but as a nice low-cost solution for wireless transmission, it is phenomenal. So I will get to the last camera that we've got in a moment, which is what's filming at the moment, and I will take control of it, or we might give it to Patrick to do. But right now, this is Videoland. Right now, we've got all of our cameras up. We've got 8 sources, so a couple of them are switched off at the moment. So we've got left camera, which we've gone and seen, right camera, we've got left jib, and you can just see some of the great shots coming in from left jib. We've got right jib. We've got our GoPro just sitting at the back of the drum kit just to get those perspectives. I think next year we'll try and upgrade that to get a little bit of higher picture quality because it is struggling sometimes. It is like a GoPro 6, I think, Hero 6 or something, so it's well old. We've got our gimbal cam, and I'll talk more about that in a moment, and our roof cam. But over here, we've had our directors and switches. So we try and separate these roles out. So we'll have somebody calling the shots and the next person triggering those shots that are there. So across this week, we've mostly had Alice doing all of the kind of directing of the shots. There's been a few little changes throughout the week, but Henry's been doing lots of the switching of the shots. We do use our Stream Deck here running into Companion, which is helping do all of kind of the, the control and being able to switch nice and easily with a tactile surface. As you can see, we've got the Blackmagic ATEM software running on the computer, which helps just kind of visualize all the shots. And if they want to do a partial crossfade, they can do that as well. A combination of cutting shots as well as crossfade there. But these guys have done a fantastic job. This year, we don't have it out at the moment, but we've also just been trialing using wireless comms, and we've been using a Holy Land system. Just for that, the school was donated a set of those. So we've been trialing those for some of our operators that are more wireless. Unfortunately for these guys, they have been wearing 2 headsets, one on one ear, one on the other. But that's just what we've been trying to do at the moment. So I will show you the next camera that's here. I'll take the camera and I'll just show you. This is the behind the scenes. This is Josh. I think the best shot that we had of RevFest was when Josh was actually performing on stage and managed to come up with a phenomenal kind of first-person shot on the gimbal by him grabbing a hold of the gimbal and going up for some of our soloists. So again, we'll kind of get a bit of a shot. Do you want to jump down here? We'll have a look at right jib. We'll get right jib to kind of zoom in on this gimbal shot. So you can see, and Pat, you're getting that on there. So just up here, we can see here that we've got a Ronin, we've got an RS4 Pro here, and we put a wireless transmission kit on top of this as well, just under here. This is like Inception, we're shooting, but I love it. So we have a gimbal here, multi-arm thing. We have a transmission kit to be able to go anywhere in the hall. It does get a bit choppy backstage. It does need kind of line of sight, but for what we need, it does a great job. And we're obviously just shooting this behind the scenes on it now just for ease. But Josh has been doing a great job getting some really interesting shots, coming out onto stage a few times as well, walking around, performers, just getting that perspective. So it's phenomenal. Well done to Josh. So we'll come backstage just quickly, just look at our backstage land. This year we've had 2 students. We've had Matt Willie and Matthew Watson helping us backstage, and they've been doing a phenomenal job just making sure that all of our tech, the mics are on, belt packs are all good and ready to go. So we'll go in and kind of just have a quick little look at that. Not a lot has changed, and we'll kind of finish up in our tech room. So backstage, of course, we've kind of got rack central where everything's there. A lot of our changes are kind of moving to ArtNet with our lighting. So that's been a huge change for us, trying to get all the universes kind of working and our nodes. But this is, Backstage Central. We've got all of our 8 IEM belt pack Sennheiser. We've got our 8 radio mics that are there. All of our IKEA Lada batteries. We, again, using our in-ear kit so that we have a silent stage. We have run sheets that say, this is to the minute, this belt pack's being used, this next person's using the next belt pack, etc. We've got our mic stands laid out ready to go. Emergency supplies of strings, guitar cables, tuners, whatever we need to make sure the show runs without any problems. And then over here, we've got our NT5s, which we rock for instrument mics, as well as our drum overheads and things like that. So our students, are starting to come in ready for RevFest. They'll get changed in these backstage rooms, hang out in our green room where they've got a live feed. And then they can be ready to come out on stage. So this is our tech room, and always I have to apologize for the mess, but we've kept it fairly clean this year, which is phenomenal. So on this computer, we have our Mac Mini running Logic, and Logic is what we mix down our YouTube videos in. Mr. Daniel Robbins, our music teacher, guitar teacher, jazz ensemble teacher, comes in here and spends half the day after RevFest mixing down the day's sessions. In front of him, we have learnt to have backups upon backups. And here we've got an A10 Mini Extreme ISO that is capturing a raw feed out of our 2ME, Blackmagic 2ME, which is this one right here. So we're capturing that both into OBS, doing our recording sessions with audio embedded from our sound desk, as well as getting a capture from an A10 Mini Extreme ISO. So we have had some years recently where things haven't gone well and maybe a recording was missed or failed for some reason. So we've learnt to have backups of backups of backups. Just to give you a context, audio gets captured directly from our Dante core into this computer. We're also taking a copy of a USB recording out of the QL5, the Yamaha QL5 sound desk, as well as we get a copy of audio printed onto the OBS track, as well as onto the A10 Mini Extreme ISO track. So we're making as many copies as possible. I think at the moment we're probably up to about 40, was it 40 gigs? Something 400 gig, I should say, of data. So probably by the end of this week, we'll be at maybe 500-600 gig of data that we're capturing for all of the audio, the cameras, the renders, everything that's there. This year we're also rocking some speakers, some monitor speakers, so Mr. Robbins can look at previewing what it sounds like on a different headphones, but as well as our monitors. What are these? These are K. Yep, so great little monitor speakers that he can have a listen to. Bass heavy, but that's fine. He knows just to use that. And then over here, we've just got a computer that we use for monitoring. In particular, we might use it for checking our Dante network, but also any additional playback needs that we've got. So that kind of brings up our tour. I'm just checking that we've got everybody in. A couple of students couldn't be on this video. I couldn't be prouder of the team that's involved. There is a team of staff that put on RevFest, and that includes myself as head of department, Ema-Lea Hope, who's our vocal teacher and music and drama teacher here at the school, who's instrumental in auditions and running through our sound checks, just giving kids a bit of tip with vocal stuff about what they need to improve for their performance. There is Daniel Robbins, who's great helping with all of the backstage things as well as the mix down. And then there's Patrick. Patrick doesn't like being on camera, but we'll put him on camera, won't we? So Patrick is our IT helper here at the school, IT technician technically, but also comes and helps here with a lot of our technical production and our tech crew. So he's always down here helping our tech crew, train our tech crew, and also helping with all of these big events. So he's our absolute go-to guy when it comes to all of this technical production stuff and helping out with behind the scenes. So that wraps it up for today's behind the scenes look at RevFest 2025. Super proud of all the students that have got up on stage. The culture here at the school is amazing. We've had Year 8 bands, we've had Year 10 bands, we've had Year 7 soloists that have the courage to get up on our stage and perform and absolutely nail it. So couldn't be proud of all of the students, but in particular, today's all about highlighting our amazing tech crew and what they've done to put this on. There's no professionals that come here and do this event. It's all teachers and student-led, and the quality of this production is second to none, and I couldn't be prouder of the team. So until next year, that's all from now. Catch you later.